I wouldn't recommend this. Alright, so it's been a couple days since we were looking at the ZJ here, and in that time we found what was supposed to be we found a drive shaft on Amazon that was listed as about a 28.5-inch length. So got that ordered and it showed up, but when it got here, this is the one we just ordered and these are the other ones we had. It looks like exactly the same lengths as the one we had. So when I measure a drive shaft, I've always measured it from center of U-joint to center of U-joint. And that is 31.5, which is exactly the same as the other ones we have. That is, no measurement I can find, even if I come to this joint, makes this thing 28.5. It's 29 if you're just measuring this part of the shaft, but I don't know why you would do that. You measure from end to end, U-joint to U-joint is the way I've always done it. So I have no idea what measurement they were taking to say this is 28.5, but that doesn't get us any closer. So we got to figure out something else. All right, so we did a little more measuring, and so this drive shaft here is actually the shortest one we have, and it'll go in up to that spot or all the way down if we remove the grease fitting. So we could trim that grease fitting down so it wouldn't hit. That's an option. But even so, even at its fully compressed length, it's still too long. And you don't want it, even if that did fit at the compressed length, you don't want to run it like that at ride height, because then it gives no room for the drive shaft to compress. And so when you get to a point where the drive shaft tries to compress, you're putting stress on the axle and more importantly on the transfer case, because the transfer case is got an aluminum case, so you can mess up your transfer case. So that isn't going to work. But what we figured out is this shaft needs to be about 2.5 inches shorter than it is. And so I wouldn't recommend this, but we're going to try and cut it and weld it on. We're going to try and cut this end off, take that out, because if you cut this weld, this piece will come off, trim about 2.5 inches off of it, and then weld that back in. And like I said, I wouldn't recommend that because it's probably going to be not balanced after that. But we want to get it going so that we can go wheeling this weekend. And so that's going to be a short-term fix. And then we'll figure out a better long-term fix after that. Either find a shaft that's the right length, or there's going to be a lot more modifications done to this Jeep. So after that's done, one of these other ones we have might fit anyway. So for the short term, though, I think maybe tomorrow night we're going to try and chop this drive shaft and see what happens. All right, so it's another night. We haven't been able to find a drive shaft that fits with this axle and the yoke and the 249 transfer case. It must be a different length because the drive shaft we took the axle out had a 242 in it. So I'm thinking the 249 and or the transmission. It's a different transmission too. So that makes a difference. So one of those two things makes it a lot shorter. Anyway, we have this drive shaft, which measured out at about 31 inches from U-joint to U-joint, and what we need is about 28.5. So again, I don't recommend this, but we're going to try and chop this thing, cut about 2.5 inches out of it, and weld it back together. So right now I've just got it in here and I'm using my laser just to put a line on it, because we want to make sure when we get this thing welded together we have it at the same rotation as we took it off, so that the weights are in the same place and so that the yoke will line up with the other yoke. We pulled this yoke off already. I just had it set in there just to look at it. But when we push that back on, we need to make sure that it lines up with the other U-joint so that the U-joints are in phase, because otherwise that causes vibration. And so that's why we want to make sure that we have the rotation right. So I have my laser here just to get a center line on this, and I'm going to make some marks on here and a couple other spots just so we can line those up.
Somewhere here. That's pretty good. Take my edges out, okay, we'll take this thing. So we have this one.
And like I said, this is more than likely going to vibrate because it's not going to be balanced. We're going to try and get it as straight as possible, but it only has to last like this so we can go wheeling in a couple days. And then after that, we'll be doing more work to this Jeep where we'll be changing the suspension anyway, and so one of the other drive shafts should hopefully fit. Now we just got to figure out where to cut it. Alright, so I got a mark here where I want to cut it. We're going to try and keep this this weight on so that we don't have to worry about that. And then, like I said, we'll line it up with the lines once we take the chunk out. And then I've got my laser lined up right on the saw blade. And so now I should just have to line that line up with the laser and then cut it. Just line it up with that. Right there. There it is. Yep. Yep. Okay. Alright, so we got it cut. We took our 2 inches out and we've got it kind of set up in this little, we're using the saw as kind of a jig because it's got this nice clamp and straight surface. So we got it set up along the straight surfaces. We had to put some extra metal in here because otherwise that weld on the end was going to make it wobbly. But anyway, I think we've got it as close to straight as we're going to get it. So I guess I'm going to put some tacks on it and see what happens. Alright, and put this piece on top and hold it. Okay, I'm going. Yep. It looks straightish.
It's kind of straight.
Yeah.
I mean,
So we put this piece up on top just as an extra straight edge. We got it braced on the bottom and on the back, so that's 2 axis. And then I put another straight edge on top to kind of help hold it straight, and also so that it didn't warp. Because when you weld stuff, it'll pull the metal, and so we didn't want it to warp. If you have something like that to brace it, it should help with the warping. So that's the idea there. So we're gonna let that sit for a minute and maybe pull it out of here and then see what we do from there. I'll make this up as I go. Alright, so we got it tacked in place. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close. So I think that's gonna have to do. I'm gonna flip it over and put a couple more tacks, and then I'll weld that together, and we'll see how it does. I would probably guarantee it's going to vibrate, but we'll see if it is good enough to get through the weekend. Alright, so I got it welded all back together. Here's what it looks like. There you go. It's obviously not perfect because there's a little bulge there where the weld is, even though I ground it down a little bit, you know, just so it wasn't sticking out too much, you know, but it's obviously not perfect, but it's pretty close. So now we just gotta put the yoke back on, put a U-joint in it, and then put it back in the Jeep. Well, not really put it back in the Jeep, because this particular drive shaft's never been in the Jeep, but put it in the Jeep and see if it fits. Alright, so we got our newly shortened drive shaft. Now we just got to see if it fits. So let's see. Let me take those.
what can I do to help?
I don't know. Let's take these
Take these
off.
off?
Yeah. Let's get these out of the way.
I guess let's just set it in here like that. And then we'll put this side in first, the front side, because then it'll hold itself up. So yeah, let's get this in, because it looks like it's gonna fit. You can see right there's the drive shaft, and now I should be able to extend it. Why won't this turn? It's not in neutral. That's the thing, I'm trying to turn this one, but it won't turn because that one's turning too. But with these full-time transfer cases, I don't know how that works, since they're always on. Do we need to jack up the back or the front to be able to rotate? If we jack up just one wheel, we can rotate this. So that might be the easiest thing. Let's do that. Just put your jack under the pumpkin, and so that I can get this lined up, because it's tipped. It needs to go...
Which way do you want to go?
That way. Yep, right about like there. Hold it right there.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, hold on. I need to... All right, front drive shaft is in there. There you can tell there's where we modified it, but it's in there, bolted up on both sides, and it seems like we got, you know, a good amount of slippage, because this will go all the way down. Well, it won't quite go all the way down because it gets to a certain point, then the Zerk fitting starts hitting, but it'll at least go to the painted arrow area. So we got, you know, a good inch or 3/4 an inch of room there, and there should be as much going forward as well. So I think that's the right length. So now we'll just find out if this thing holds up. It's moving. Drive shaft spinning. All right, see how this thing does. All right, so far, you know, just driving around the neighborhood, it's been okay. Nothing's gone clank and fallen off yet. So we'll see. We'll take it up to about 45 and see how it does.
Okay, so we're up to 45.
All right. Cruising at 45, and it doesn't seem any worse than it was before. There's vibration, but that's the tires. These tires are worn weird, so. I don't know. Seems to be driving okay. Okay, we're gonna go on the freeway and see what it does. Feels fine to me.
Yep.
I don't notice any major vibrations or anything. Nice.
No, feels good.
All right. I'm going to call that a victory, and we'll find out how it holds up on the trail tomorrow. Oh!